The predator that hunted galaxies met its match, a laughing human. With a knife, the Void Eater had consumed 17 galaxies. Its shadow stretched across the cosmos like spilled ink, blotting out entire star systems with each leisurely movement. Civilizations that had stood for millions of years became nothing more than whispered legends in the space of heartbeats. The creature's hunger was infinite, its patience eternal, and its method devastatingly simple. It devoured light itself, leaving behind only cold, empty darkness. The Galactic Council's emergency session had lasted 3 standard cycles. Representatives from 1,000 worlds sat in stunned silence as Admiral Zexthon of the Hegemony presented the grim statistics. The Void Eater's approach vector would bring it to the Sol system within 2 rotations. Earth, that curious little blue world that had somehow produced the most adaptable warriors the galaxy had ever seen, would be directly in its path. The humans must be evacuated, declared Ambassador Vorth, her crystalline form refracting the chamber's emergency lighting. Their military contributions to the Alliance have been significant. We cannot allow them to be consumed. Evacuation. Protocols are already underway, Admiral Zexthon replied, his forearms manipulating holographic displays with practiced efficiency, though I doubt they'll accept relocation easily. Humans have an irrational attachment to their homeworld. What the Admiral didn't mention, what none of them knew, was that Earth's evacuation transports had encountered an unexpected problem. A single human had refused to board. Marcus Chen sat cross-legged on the roof of his apartment building in Neo, Singapore, a battered combat knife balanced across his knees. The evacuation sirens had fallen silent hours ago, leaving behind only the whisper of wind through empty streets. Above him, the Void Eater's approach had begun to affect the local star field, distant suns flickering like dying candles. His comm unit buzzed insistently. "Marcus, you stubborn fool, get to the transport now." Commander Sarah Rodriguez's voice crackled with static and frustration. "This isn't a joke. That thing has eaten entire civilizations." Marcus chuckled, a sound that seemed inappropriate given the circumstances. "Sarah, you know what I did before I joined the Space Marines? This isn't the time for... I was a chef," he continued, still smiling as he watched a star wink out of existence. "Specialized in exotic game. The more dangerous the prey, the better the meal. And you know what I learned in 30 years of hunting things that could kill me? Marcus, everything bleeds if you cut it right." He ended the transmission and stood, sliding the knife into its well-worn sheath. The weapon was nothing special. By galactic standards, no plasma edge, no molecular disruption field, just good old-fashioned folded steel his grandfather had forged. But it had never failed him. The Void Eater's leading edge crested Earth's outer atmosphere like a tsunami of darkness. Where it touched, satellites simply ceased to exist. The aurora borealis twisted into impossible geometries before being consumed entirely. The creature was beautiful in its terrible majesty, a living void that made reality itself seem pale by comparison. Marcus felt the familiar pre-hunt calm settle over him. His heartbeat slowed. His breathing deepened. 40 years of facing impossible odds had taught him that fear was just another tool, useful when controlled, deadly when it controlled you. "Come on then," he whispered to the approaching darkness. "Let's see what you're made of." The Void Eater descended like nightfall given malevolent purpose. Its form defied easy description, sometimes appearing as a vast jellyfish of living shadow, other times as a geometric impossibility that hurt to observe directly. What remained constant was its hunger, a gravitational pull that seemed to draw in not just light and matter, but hope itself. As the creature's tendrils reached toward the city, Marcus did something that would have seemed suicidal to any observer. He laughed. It wasn't the bitter laugh of despair or the manic giggle of madness. It was the deep, genuine laughter of a man who had just realized the perfect punchline to a cosmic joke, because as the Void Eater's essence washed over him, he felt something the creature had never encountered in 17 galaxies of feeding. He felt hungry too. The knife came out of its sheath in a motion too quick for normal human reflexes. But Marcus hadn't been entirely human for some time. Decades of consuming exotic alien proteins had changed him in ways he was only beginning to understand. His blade, blessed with the sharpness of desperate necessity, found something solid within, the creature's intangible form. The Void Eater's shock rippled across dimensions. In 17 galaxies, nothing had ever touched it, let alone cut it. The wound Marcus opened wasn't large, barely more than a pinprick against the creature's cosmic immensity, but it was enough. Light poured from the cut like blood from a severed artery. "There we go," Marcus said, dodging a retaliatory tendril with practiced ease. "Everything bleeds if you cut it right." What followed was less a battle than a very one-sided culinary preparation. Marcus danced between the creature's attacks, his knife finding weakness after weakness in its supposedly invulnerable hide. Each cut released more stolen light, the final breaths of dead stars, the last thoughts of consumed civilizations, the dreams of entire species returning to a universe that had mourned their loss. The Void Eater's death throes lit up half the galaxy. Its massive form convulsed, releasing centuries of hoarded energy in brilliant cascades that would birth new stars for millennia to come. As it collapsed, reality itself seemed to sigh in relief. Marcus stood in the center of the creature's dissolving form, covered in something that might have been ichor or liquid starlight. His knife dripped with the essence of cosmic predation made manifest. He was laughing again, not with triumph, but with the simple joy of a craftsman who had completed difficult work. When the rescue ships finally arrived, they found him sitting on his apartment roof again, carefully cleaning his blade. "Status report, Marine." Commander Rodriguez's voice carried a mixture of awe and exasperation. Marcus grinned up at the ship's spotlight, his teeth bright in his soot-stained face. "Mission accomplished, ma'am, though I have to say it tasted terrible. Next time I'm bringing seasoning." The Galactic Council would spend decades trying to understand what had happened in the Sol system. They would classify the reports, study the energy readings, and debate the implications of a single human defeating something that had devoured galaxies. But they would never truly understand the simple truth Marcus had learned in 30 years of dangerous cooking. With enough skill, the right tools, and a complete disregard for reasonable self-preservation, anything could be made into dinner, even the dark between the stars.